Hi, this is me, Giada. I'm a digital and public humanities student at Ca' Foscari University in Venice. My three biggest passions are travel, food, and history, especially history of art. But let's say that I'm curious about the past in general. I like to find out the anecdotes of people's past lives. In fact, I always go to my grandmother's house to listen to her stories. Recently, we talked a lot about her parents, Ernesto and Yolanda. When I was asked to do a public history project, I couldn't resist. I asked her to help me commemorate the soldier days of my great-grandfather, Ernesto Bellucco. He was only 18 when he was called to defend our country, and he continued fighting until the end of the war. My grandmother always tells me that in this picture he has the same melancholic face he had when he remembered the war. Only this was my grandparents' wedding day. He doesn't look so happy, does he? Anyway, Ernesto never told about the actual battles, and only in his later years, after he was awarded the title of Cavaliere di Vittorio Veneto, did he begin to tell his relatives about being in the Isonzo Valley and on Mount Grappa. So, they took him to the military memorial of Mount Grappa. Everyone said his eyes were full of memories and pain because he was remembering the days he was at war. I have never met Ernesto, but suddenly I felt the need to get close to this honorable and reserved man. I wanted to understand how a person could survive and still be the best husband and father after experiencing such a traumatizing event as the First World War. So, I went to visit the one place I thought could help me out a little bit. I went to the Museo della Battaglia in Vittorio Veneto. Former soldier Luigi Marson had collected many documents and findings from the battlefields, and in 1938 he decided to open this museum so that those who had fought in the war would not be forgotten. When the museum was renovated in 2012, it was decided to create an immersive space where each of the 3 floors had a theme: life in the trenches, life during the occupation, and from battle to myth. Without any prior explanation, we, visitors, are taken to a dark and narrow room. We're inside a trench. In the real ones, soldiers spent all their days and nights. They had to sleep, eat, defend and entertain themselves inside a suffocating hole on the ground. Standing in this tunnel, we can try to imagine the sense of loneliness, helplessness, and discomfort they must have felt. Not only real objects, but also videos and sounds are used to recreate the atmosphere and convey the message. Coming out of this first room, we return to the light. It is time for the second floor and the second theme. In this room, we focus on the miserable life of the people who lived under the Austro-Hungarian occupation. However, I was more intrigued by the room next door, the armory, where weapons unknown to me are stored and folk songs are played. In the third floor, the war is won. This room is the most interesting one. Everything is displayed as the founder of the museum, Luigi Marson, intended. At the time, in 1938, Italy had a fascist government that used the victory of the Great War as a justification to continue ruling the country. It was decided to celebrate it as if it was a myth, as if the boys who had fought were great, invincible heroes. Heroes, yes, they were, but they were not unbreakable. Millions of teenagers died, and those who managed to survive were left with unthinkable burdens. What this museum seeks to do is to recontextualize the narrative of the First World War. It wants to remind us that for 3 years those boys actually lived in a trench. They had to throw bombs, fire a gun, or defend themselves with a knife. For them, that was reality, not a myth. After this project, I still have so many questions. But now I know that I will never fully understand how Ernesto felt and lived.